This honestly might just be the best budget ultralight backpack, and you have never heard of it. This here is the MEC Serratus Pace 40. If you've never heard of MEC before, that's Mountain Equipment Company. It's basically like our Canadian version of REI. This is an internal frame pack, so you've got an aluminum stay down the center of the pack. The main fabric is 70D Robic Extrema. I have the regular tall that comes in at 990 grams or 34 ounces. But if I want to get it lighter, I can remove the internal stay and that gets it down to 770 grams or 27 ounces. Like most ultralight packs out there, it's one big main compartment. That's where the majority of your gear is going to go. Inside that main compartment, you've got one little divider for a hydration sleeve, and then you've got kind of a pocket floating around at the top. That pocket is accessed here from the outside of the backpack. As I go through this video, I'm gonna go through a lot of things that I like about the pack and a lot of things that I dislike about the pack. This pocket on the outside is honestly one of the things that I'm not a big fan of on the backpack. The 70D fabric on the pack is fairly water resistant, and throwing a non-water resistant zipper right on the outside of the pack in an area where, you know, like water is going to possibly collect and pool depending on how much gear you've got inside. I've hiked through some pretty heavy downpours in this bag, and the only spot that water was getting in was this little zipper here. And with the pocket opened up, I do wish that there was like a key clip inside. Just, you know, that to me is kind of the logical thing that you're going to want to use this pocket for, is like stashing your keys in your wallet. But yeah, I wish that they would just get rid of this external access, and I wish just have the pocket on the inside with a plain zipper like that. I mentioned the pack having an internal sleeve for a hydration bladder. Over your right shoulder, there's the port just by the zipper for that outside pocket. That's where your hydration hose is going to come out. That main compartment is a roll top closure. You've got straps up the side to clamp those down, and you can kind of cinch it down and like secure your load down a little bit more. Really like that. Over the top, one of the things that I absolutely love about this pack is it's got a Y strap. My go-to pack is a ULA Ohm, and one of the things I regret about that pack is not getting a Y strap over the top. I've just got the single strap. The Y strap is just nice. It's a little bit more secure for, you know, strapping your sleeping pad, or I put my dog's pad on top of the pack quite a bit. You've kind of got that traditional like meshy pocket on the back of the bag. This is not a stretchy mesh by any means. I wish they would have used like a stretchy material on the outside of these packs, because what ends up happening is when you stuff all your gear inside the pack, you know, the main body of the pack kind of expands a little bit, right? Like I've just got a quilt in here, so it's not really compressed, but you know, when you're packing all of your gear into a 40-liter bag, you know, you're compressing and pushing it down pretty good. And the amount of space you have in these outside pockets when they're not expandable just really isn't all that much. It's not going to be a pain now because there's not a whole lot of compression inside the bag. But like I said, when the pack is full, you don't really have that much space to be cramming your hands down in here. On either side of the pack, you've got these massive pockets. I'm not going to call them water bottle pockets, even though that's what they're advertised as. The height of this pocket goes almost all the way up the entire length of the pack. It's ridiculous how big they are. Like, it covers your entire water bottle. They're useless when the pack is on you. You can't access a water bottle in any way, shape, or form. There is shock cord on the outside of the bag, so that's nice for, you know, stashing stuff like a sit pad, or, you know, stashing like a rain jacket or whatever in there. I like having shock cord on the outside of the bag as opposed to having a more rigid cord, so the shock cord's a nice touch. They've also got in the middle on each side these little quick release buckles. I'm assuming the point of those is to make easier to get gear in and out of. I get into the back of the bag and the harness and, you know, kind of the part of the pack that's going to be up against your body and that's actually carrying the load. You've got a nicely padded back panel, like I've already mentioned. You've got the aluminum stay down the center, so it's got decent weight transferabilities. You've got a very nice, comfortable padded hip belt. One of my favorite features, and also one of my least favorite features of the pack for different reasons. My favorite because of how nicely padded and comfortable it is. I like the hip belt. It's comfortable to wear. But one of the downsides is you've got the hip belt attached to the pack here, but then you've got This strap, which is the strap that tightens it up around your waist, is secured to the pack back here, and it just slides through the hip belt. Where that becomes an issue is when you've got any kind of load in the pack and you've got it tightened up and you want that load to transfer down to your hips. This belt will slide inside here. I found it really uncomfortable. I found it made for just pressure points on my hips. So what I ended up having to do was just not actually use the hip belt for carrying the load, and I relied on the shoulder straps to carry the load with this pack. While I'm talking about the hip belt too, it does have hip belt pockets on either side. The zippers work really nice. You can easily do the zippers up with one hand while the pack is on. You can fit a phone in here. I've got a Samsung Galaxy S23 Plus that fits in here no problem. Nice size hip belt pockets. I don't actually use the hip belt pockets for anything. I'm not a fan of hip belt pockets. Never have been. I use either like a front pack or a fanny pack. So nothing actually ever goes in these hip belt pockets when I've got the pack on, but they are there if you like hip belt pockets. So with my issues with the hip belt, like I said, I carry all the weight with the shoulder straps of this pack, which normally is not all that comfortable. But what makes this pack awesome for carrying in that style is it's got a running vest style shoulder strap system. When I had this pack fully loaded, I was carrying about 22 to 23 pounds, and it carried very, very comfortably. I just, like I said, relied on the shoulder strap system. I didn't carry any weight on the hip belt. All I really used the hip belt for was just kind of stop the pack from like sliding around and just kind of make it a little more secure against my body. Just having the two little straps here attaching across and just having it kind of more secure against your chest, it pulls back more, so like you feel the weight sort of more here, and it's not so much pulling down on your shoulders. Very, very comfortable. So like I said, like I just carried all the weight just like this here. Next time I use this pack, I'm actually going to completely ditch the frame sheet and try going this like frameless style with the running style vest. Yeah, I think that'll work out for me with this pack. With the water bottle pocket being absolutely useless, one thing I really like about this bag is you've got these big like stretchy pockets here on the vest. So what I would do is on the left side, carry my bear spray, and then on the right side, I'd carry a bottle. I found carrying a 1 liter smart bottle was just really cumbersome because there actually is 2 pockets. So when you're trying to slide a 1 liter bottle in, it catches on the bottom pocket and it's just a pain to get them in and out. I found just carrying a sport drink bottle or like a Gatorade or even the 750 ml smart bottles work really well with these pockets. And like I said, my bear spray on the other side. And it's also got load lifters with the harness system, so you can pull that load tighter to your body. Really nice, especially with that running style vest. Overall, I really do like this backpack. I know there's been a couple things that I've harped on that I wasn't a big fan of. That's not to say that the pack is terrible. I think with those kind of changes, I think this could be an incredible backpack. I think this hits the mark, especially for somebody looking to get into ultralight. Like the price point on this bag at under 200 bucks. Like, I don't know how you can go wrong with that for a pack with this many features, this comfortable, you know, carries weight this well from a reputable company like Mountain Equipment Company. Because even with, you know, some of the drawbacks that I had mentioned with the bag, I do still really like the pack. I do still intend on using it going forward for some shorter ultralight trips. And if you guys are looking for some more budget ultralight backpacking gear, I've got a bunch of different videos. I'll pop a couple up here and here. So check those out when you guys are done with this one. As always, guys, I'm Maddie. Thank you so dang much for watching, and I will see you on the next one.